What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. Police officers abandoned veteran couple and disabled amputee on the side of the road in the middle of the night. This is how savage and unhuman these European Americans are. You're supposed to be a police officer. You're supposed to be a peace officer, a protective servant agent. You are paid by the people to serve the people. But what do you do when confronted with veterans? First of all, there was no sense of care or empathy for any level that these black couples that represented. Veterans, didn't matter. Elderly, didn't matter. Amputees, didn't matter. Old couple, just in general, didn't matter. Didn't take in consideration middle of the night, side of the road, dangerous, didn't matter. All this white cop saw was black. So his hatred, jealousy, envy for black people is so strong, he had no problem in towing the car, for whatever reason, towing the car of this couple and saying, go take a Uber. In the middle of the night. He couldn't stay there long enough to, make sure that they, even if their vehicle got towed for whatever reason, that they would get home safe. He didn't care about their safety. He wasn't concerned about their lives. That's how much they don't value us. And there's way too many law enforcement officers who feel this way. The problem with America is that we have these parasites within the apparatus of America. The problem with this is we have these parasites in the Supreme Court. We have these parasites in the halls of Congress. We have these parasites within our judicial system. We have these white European, savage, barbarian, subhuman parasites everywhere infecting the institutions that are supposed to take care of us, that we all agree as citizens of the United States of America that we're supposed to have. We're supposed to enjoy these. But we're not allowed to enjoy those things, even though our tax money pays for these police officers. Our tax money pays these politicians. We contribute just like everybody else contributes. But for some reason, these white folks, all right, institutionalized white folks, just feel the need to continue to act upon their racism, to act upon their lack of education. Listen, to be racist is to be subhuman. You gotta be stupid to be racist. You're unbecoming of a human being if you're racist. You're an idiot if you're racist. You're anti-nature if you are racist. Do you see other animals being racist? It doesn't even make sense. So if I'm a cheetah and there's another cheetah over there, and just because that cheetah spot's a little different, am I supposed to go against that cheetah? Huh? What if we need to work together so we can survive? I'm just not gonna do it because I just really don't like the way the pattern of that I don't like the pattern of his spots. I'm just gonna fuck him. Fuck him. Even if we both gotta die because we need to work together, but I can't do it because for some reason, my bias is just, I'd rather die than work with that cheetah over there because his spots are all different from my spots. How much sense does that make? How undeveloped do you have to be racist? You have to be very undeveloped. Racism is a trait of undeveloped human beings. Do you understand that? It literally makes no sense in nature at all. You have to be maybe it's a Neanderthal thing that is naturally to be, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not a racist thing. Maybe it's a species thing. Maybe it's a genus thing. Maybe it's the Neanderthals not liking hominids, Homo sapiens. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the Cro-Magnons not liking Homo sapien. Is that what it is? How deep does it go? Because this is pretty deep. There's no love, there's not an iota of empathy from this person who raised his right hand and said he was going to be a protector of the people. But when you had your opportunity to protect the people, you just, these old black veterans, amputees, I'm gonna leave them as a police officer. I'm gonna leave them in the side of the road and hope something terrible happens to them. Listen, honestly, man, to be truth, most European males don't have the qualifications to be law enforcement officers, to be lawyers, to be judges. They shouldn't have the power that they possess right now. They have shown they don't have the risk. They don't have the empathy. They don't have the necessary chromosomes to do so. They don't have the even kill personality to do so. They have demonstrated throughout history that they're too irresponsible, too criminally irresponsible to be in positions of power. And I'm not making that up. Just look around. Look around. White men should not be in charge of anything because they have demonstrated that when given power, they abuse it. They have demonstrated that there can't be even killed, that their biases overrule everything. Now, yeah, this light-skinned people, they're good. I'm talking about white people. Y'all already know I done already broke down my definitions in several different, y'all understand what I'm talking about, all right? But these white people need to be taken out of positions of power. They've proven it. We have examples. There's no question about it. And for all you POCs and Africans who come to America, you need to understand this the shit we dealing with. This shit we've been talking about. It's 2026. If they could, they would re-enslave us. Do you understand? If they really could, they would re-enslave us. If they could, they would recolonize all of Asia. If they could, they would go take Hong Kong back. If they could, they would colonize even further South and Central America. If they could, they would colonize all of Africa again and take all their shit. If they could. If nature gave them the ability to recreate at a level at which they can replace their population, they would continue their warmongering around the world, causing issues for humanity. It's natural. You understand? That shit is wild. And so what do you expect the rest of us actual humans to do about it? Honestly, what do you expect us to do about it? Because, soon enough, we'll be in charge. That's the thing about it. It's like, you guys are setting yourselves up because we're going to remember this shit. Soon enough, it's not going to be enough of you white folks to be the police officers, to be the judges, to be the lawyers. It's not going to be enough of y'all to infect the system. I hope you guys, it's coming within my lifetime. That's the thing about it. It's coming. It's happening now. You guys are on an irreversible, as people who identify as white, you guys are on an irreversible population decline. And here, before we get to that, in a few years, the majority of people who call themselves white are going to be elderly. Who's going to take care of you? Huh? Who's going to take care of you? You're already the minority. In a few decades, the major clump of your population are going to be elderly. You guys are not even going to have warrior age people to fight on your behalf. Do you understand what's happening? And then all your descendants, those few that get created, are going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions, of your lack of empathy, of your warmongering, of your devilish, demon, subhuman, Neanderthal, barbaric ass, subhuman culture. They're going to have to pay the price for your deeds that you continue on, because just like cultural consistency and just like your ancestors, you can't seem to help your goddamn self. And I think you guys are so arrogant, you don't think you're like really not paying attention to what's happening. You're really not paying attention to it's over for you. This is the last gasp. Everything is happening right now globally, because this shit ain't just happening in America. It's happening all over Europe. This is the last gasp of white supremacy. This is your last move on the chessboard. And it doesn't end with you getting my queen. It doesn't. You got one more move. This is it. Y'all making it. And it's not going to turn out well for you guys. But you don't care because y'all can't see that far in the future. You only see right now what you can put in your pocket, how you can dominate, how you can make yourself feel good inside your own head. Because you got to be supreme so bad. People who are supreme don't have to think about being supreme. People who are superior don't walk around talking about they're superior, because they are, in fact, by nature superior. Therefore, they look down upon everything else, or they look at everything else as not a challenge. They don't worry about it. People who are superior do shit for themselves, do things on their own, don't see anybody as a threat. People who are superior, they ain't got no worries in the world. Why? Because when push comes to shove, they know they're going to dominate. They're ready to compete. People who are superior want to compete so they can show how superior they actually are. And they want to compete fairly so they can show, when all being evil, that they are superior. That way, there's no misunderstanding or who's the big bad on campus. But you guys who want to be superior don't seem to show any of those traits of anybody being superior. What you guys show is inferiority. White people, you white people have such an inferiority complex, you have to tip the scales in your favor every single time. And every time you got an opportunity to take a shot at what you see is dangerous, you do it. What you see as competition, you do it. You guys got no problem taking steroids. You got no problem tipping the skills. You got no problem cheating. You got no problems lying as long as you win, right? Rules are not for you. Rules are for other people. But for you, no, because it's okay, right? Because God said it was okay, right? The one that you believe in, the demons, because you can't be believing in no real God because you're definitely not a reflection of God. You're not a reflection of anything good. You can't be proud of a damn thing that you do. There's nothing that you can say that you have done that you can be proud of. I'm talking about particularly to white people, not my light-skinners. All right, not those. I'm talking about you white people. There's nothing about you and the things that you create and build with your racism and your tactics that anybody gonna be proud of. When you are written about in history, you'll be looked at like the Nazis. You think the Nazis thought they were gonna be looked at like the Nazis? When the Nazi leader was making speeches, you ain't think they had a big crowd cheering him on? You ain't think that they justified their destruction, the genocide of the Jews by saying this had to be happening because of this and that and that and this? Huh? Just like every time we see one of these racists get on a goddamn stage and we hear them say they racist shit, it's not the racist person on stage that we got to think about. It's that clapping that happened in the crowd that you don't see behind the camera. That's what we got to worry about. Those are the people. It's not Donald Trump we got to worry about. It's the 80-something million white Americans that voted for Donald Trump, knowing who he was, that we got to worry about. We know you there. You can't hide. We know half of America's racist. This is how you feel. But it's your inferiority complex. That's what it is. At the end of the day, it's your inferiority complex because you feel inferior. And that's a personal feeling. That's a personal thing that you guys have made cultural. You guys culturally feel inferior. That's why to have a good time, you got to borrow other people's races. Taco Tuesday. Huh? Let me go to this Indian restaurant. Huh? Let me go to this African dance. Let me go to this African party. Let me go to the cookout. Let me go to the Asian restaurant. Where the white European restaurants? Huh? Where the white European music? You know, we're not talking about rock and roll and country because that's ours. We gave that to you. I know y'all don't know that. We gave that to you. Where your shit? Huh? Where can we celebrate? And we talking about specifically you white people in America because y'all done gave up your culture and y'all attach other cultures to you for fun. Yet you disrespect those cultures and you belittle and you demonize those cultures. And you think you better than them cultures. Yet you can't help but to be around those cultures because without it you feel empty, don't you? You feel empty as shit in your house. You got no culture. You got nothing you can point at and say, yeah, my people did that. Because you don't even know who your people are in Europe. You don't know your people. You know this manufactured white shit that some aristocrat with a fucking suit gave you. You're devoid of culture. If you call yourself white, you are devoid of culture. And it shows because you don't even act like the humans who have created culture. It's sad. All of you guys need to be purged. This is why black people need to join the police force. We need to police our own communities. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Because you'll call the police when some shit go down. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Fuck the police. No, it ain't fuck the police. It's fuck the racist police. All right. We need to be our own police in our communities so we can avoid shit like this. So that we can have empathy within our law enforcement. We need to have empathy within our judicial system. We need to have empathy within our political system. Because that's human. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach them. I'm out.
A disabled Army veteran and her husband, who is an amputee, were stranded on a dark road in Hinesville in the middle of the night after a police officer towed their car and told them to call an Uber. Our Augustina Maluse has been working on this story today and spoke with the couple. Augustina, how did this happen?
Dawn, the couple says the officer knew they had no way to get home after towing their car. Although Deborah and Bobby were frustrated, they told me they hoped the situation would serve as a teachable moment for that officer.
He just left us out there on the side of the road like we were bags of trash.
It happened just after 2:30 in the morning on April 27th on Highway 196 in Hinesville. 71-year-old Deborah Mobley Sadler Sims, a disabled Army veteran with 17 years in law enforcement, and her husband Bobby, a 75-year-old amputee, were pulled over.
He helped Bobby out of the car, so it's not like he didn't know, because I told him my husband hadn't walked in 2 years. And I'm definitely not going to be able to push him down 196 all out here in the woods where it's not lit.
Officer Todd Parmentier's citation states it's because his database showed they did not have insurance for the vehicle. Deborah says she showed him their active USAA insurance policy on her phone and the car registration. She says he refused to look at either. USAA has since confirmed in writing that the coverage was active the entire time.
He pulled off and left us.
After issuing the citation, the officer then helped Bobby onto his wheelchair and drove away.
I was like, wow, served my country well, and this is how I'm going to be treated.
Georgia's Peace Officer Standards and Training Council, known as POST, is now weighing in. Executive Director Chris Harvey says the agency is aware of the incident and has spoken directly with Hinesville Police Chief Tracy Howard. Howard says the department conducted an internal investigation, counseled the officer, dismissed the citations, refunded the towing fee, and apologized to the couple. In a written statement, Harvey said, quote, ethical conduct includes exercising due regard for the well-being of those interacting with officers and compassionate handling of unusual circumstances. He calls it an isolated case of short-sightedness by the officer involved.
Once the bell is rung, you can't unring it. The only thing you can do is train it. So hopefully they will train.
Fuck them again. Fuck them. Them and you is not friend. Fuck them. Them no need to be in your life. So why you making them cause you nothing but trouble and strife? Fuck them.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.